I'm tired of spending hours packing, loading my car, unloading my car, and generally bringing tons of gear on camping trips. And it only got worse when my daughter, baby Josie, came along. Babies and camping is a lot of stuff. On the last camping trip that we took her on, I had the trunk fully loaded, the roof box full, and gear packed all around us. So on this trip, I challenged ourselves to pack so that only the trunk was being used and none of the gear went above the back of the back seats. That's about a third of the amount of gear that we brought on our last trip. No using the roof box, no stacking things to the roof of the car, just a minimal car camping setup. Ideally, while still providing us with all the fun and comfort that we're used to. I've sourced some pretty cool and unique gear for this trip, so let's open up the trunk and see how we did. As you can see, everything fit, and there's even a little bit of extra room and we'd still have everything below the top of the seats. I'm pretty surprised because we brought an 8-person tent, a full comfort sleep system, and then even a sunshade bug net. I'm gonna get everything set up from our tent to our sleep system, to our cook system, as well as the other accoutrements that I bring on camping trips. And then as we go along the trip, I'll share with you what we really like, what we think we might have made some sacrifices for in order to get really compact gear, and then what gear we're missing. I'm doing this trip with my partner Steph, our daughter baby Josie, as well as our dog Pippin, and they're all gonna be chiming in about how they like the gear that I brought on this trip. Got the tent all set up. It's the Coleman Sky Dome, but this one is a special version. It's the dark room version, which means that it gets very dark on the inside. The Fly has this reflective material and it's very thick, doesn't really let any sun through. And there's a couple reasons why that's very important. The first one has to do with baby Josie, and that's the fact that she goes to bed at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. And in the Canadian Rockies in the summertime, it's still very sunny at that point in time. So last year when we were using a different tent, we had a lot of troubles putting her down to go to sleep. And that's because it was basically daylight inside the tent. So we're hoping that with the dark room technology, it gets a little bit darker inside of there and allows her to sleep a little bit more easily. The other factor is heat. It's almost 30 degrees Celsius right now and the sun is beating down, and the dark room technology allows the tent to stay a little bit cooler. It doesn't act as a greenhouse and get really hot in there. I've tested this out in our backyard and it does work. So that's the other thing we're really excited about, is not putting Josie to bed in a sauna and then the tent not being super hot when we go to bed a little bit later as well. For this trip, I wanted everything to be very compartmentalized. So I have one bin for all of our kitchen stuff, and then I have this 140-liter box type bag thing from REI that has some extra compartments inside of it that contains all of our clothing and all of our sleep stuff. So I have 3 sleep systems inside of here, as well as each of us got one of these bags in order to store our personal items. And that's pretty good. This is my bag right here. I have a lot of extra space in here. I'm not using all of it. So even if we were going on more than an overnight, I would have had plenty of space. And then for our sleep system, I'm using these Zen Bivy compression bags to get everything a little bit tinier. So this contains our sleeping bags, our sleeping pads, as well as gigantic pillows, and it all fit into this. So pretty excited to get this unpacked, set up, and then share with you what we brought, because I think this is the key to the entire system. With our previous car camping systems, our sleep systems for just one of us would have taken up this entire REI bag on its own. So these are a lot more compact and really make this system what it is. So for our sleep systems, the big important factor is probably the base as well as the sleeping bags, because that's what really can take up a lot of space. For our sleeping pads, we're using the Xped Mega Mats. I love these because they have a nice squishy soft top material, are really thick, and then also come in a wide size and then an extra wide size. So I have the 30-inch wide version here. Steph's a little bit smaller, so she's on a 25-inch wide version. I'll probably get our 30-inch wide version as well, but these things are so comfortable. One of the most comfortable backpacking sleeping pads I've ever used, and good enough, I think, for car camping. Paired with that, we have the Zen Bivy Core Zip Beds. The way Zen Bivvies work is you have a sheet that attaches to your sleeping pad, and then you zip a blanket onto that lays over top of you. Then you have a hood at the top. I love this system because I can toss and turn underneath it very comfortably. I feel like I'm just laying underneath a blanket at home, and that also keeps drafts out by zipping in the blanket to the sheet. The hood is really nice because not only does it provide a little bit of insulation for your head, but you can also tuck a pillow in there in order to keep it locked in place so that your pillow isn't sliding off your sleeping pad over the course of the night. For the pillow, we're both using Sea to Summit Aeros Premium Extra Large pillows. I've used these pillows before on backpacking trips. They're insanely comfortable, packed down nice and small. They have a soft top material, really good thickness to them, and then a little bit of foam on top that provides a little bit of squishiness and support. I think these pillows are as comfortable as pillows from home, but I'm curious to see what Steph thinks, because in the past, we've brought our own pillows from our normal bed, and that's been super comfortable, and I'm curious to see what she thinks about these ones, as well as the entire system. She's never used the Exped Mega Mat paired with the ZenBivy paired with this pillow before, so I'm curious to see what she thinks. For Joe's sleep system, I have a sheet on here right now, but I got a size small Pariah Elevate sleeping pad. This is a new sleeping pad from Pariah. It comes in this small size, which fits Joe perfectly. And I think this is great because it has a little bit of insulation and is really comfortable. I've slept on the extra large version myself, and I loved it. And she's napped on this at home and had a great sleep. She napped for 2.5 hours on it, barely even stirred. And I'm curious to see how an overnight does with it. We're gonna put the sheet back on it so she feels a little bit more like at home. And then she'll either be sleeping with her blanket over top of her, as well as a sleep sack, which we brought that option right here if it's a little bit warmer, or if it starts getting colder, we'll throw her in this Morrison sleep sack and she'll be a little bit toastier. We also brought her pillow from home as well because she loves a pillow now and sleeps nice and cozy on it. She's almost 2 years old. So just for some context for those parents out there who are curious about how the system will work for their kid at their age. And I think this system will probably work until she's maybe 3-4 years old. At that point, we might get her a bigger sleeping pad, as well as ideally another ZenBivy for her if they make a small kids version. That's our tent and sleep system. Steffi Poo mentioned that she's getting hungry, Joe's getting hungry. So I'm gonna get our kitchen system set up at the picnic table, maybe put the sunshade over top of it because it's so hot out. And then we'll get dinner going and feed these little maniacs. Okay, time to get dinner going. Are you hungry, Joe? Yeah? Okay, so the cook system's pretty sick because it all fit inside of this. That's a 2-burner stove, the Jetboil Genesis. The stove, 2-burner stove system fits inside of this pot, and then this pot nests inside this pan, and it's just this really slick propane system. Really enjoy it, so I'm gonna get cooking inside that. I got 2 pans here because for dinner, we're having some quesadillas. So I brought everything that we need for that. Cheese, corn, chicken, even some rice, guacamole, oil for cooking in the pans. And then outside of this cook bin, we also have a little soft cooler made by REI here. This fit everything we need for dinner and breakfast, as well as a couple beers, bottle of wine. Pretty slick little setup. Let's get cooking and we'll see how the Genesis actually cooks. Filming's going pretty well. It is a little bit windy and that's kind of blowing the heat around a bit, but nothing too bad. You can get a windscreen for it, but I was too lazy. It's just another thing we need to deal with. Other than that, there's a lot of other things that are in this bin that we are using. There's a collapsible bowl with all of our plates, mugs, and cutlery in here from Sea to Summit. This is really compact, super useful. Collapsible dishware is really good to look at if you want to get as compact as possible. Then we have this Sea to Summit water cell collapsible water container for filling up, and a collapsible dishwashing station as well. Woo, windy! Ho. And like I said, we still brought some comfort items. We have a full chair love seat right here, the Kelty low seat. Comes with a little mat that Pippin lies on when he's sleeping, as well as if he wants to be a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, just enjoy making dinner and hopefully get these girls eating soon. Are you hungry, Jojo? Are you hungry? Yeah? Okay. Let's give you some quesadilla. Okay guys, first quesadilla done. You're gonna probably wanna let it cool off a little bit and then go at her. Let's get the second one going. Just cooking away. These are turning out pretty good. Let's go see how they're tasting. How do you like your quesadilla, Joe?
Wanna put back on your plate?
We probably should have brought your bumbo, eh?
Yeah, we screwed up there.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one thing that would have taken up space, but we would have been able to fit bumbo It's like a little chair thing that Joe sits in with a tray out front. Would have been a lot better than her getting food all over our chair.
Should we sit her here?
Nah, it's fine. You're doing great, Joe. Keep up the good work.
And they're delicious.
We're gonna eat dinner, chill a little bit, hang out, have some fun camping. Yeah. And then we're gonna get Joe in bed and see how that goes, because last time it was a process, took a while, but I'm hoping with our current system, she's gonna get to bed a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. So it's 10 o'clock right now. Josie wanted to go to bed at 6:30, but it was way too warm. So we tried, and she woke up, and then she wanted to keep walking around. And here we are at 10 o'clock, and we're probably all gonna go to bed at the exact same time. Lesson learned on this, we should have brought a fan or a tent air conditioner or something. A fan probably would have been okay, and she would have gone to bed in the dark room, no problem, because it wasn't too warm in here. It was actually pretty good at around like 7, 8 o'clock, and she probably would have gone to sleep just with a fan on her. But as it stands, she was naked a whole bunch and is now trying to feed our dog Rocks. Pippin's trapped. We're all gonna go to bed, and we'll touch base in the morning and let you know how Steph liked her sleep system, what time Josie actually went to bed at, and then how we're liking everything, what we wish we brought, and what we're liking, and what maybe was compromised a little bit too much as far as compactness versus usability goes. Good morning. So we made it to the morning without bailing. Joe eventually went to sleep at around 10:30, then woke up at 6. So the least amount of sleep she's gotten in probably her entire life, but she's seeming good. Filling Pippin's water bowl with rocks and everything. The Coleman tent was pretty good. We ended up pulling out the sides for a little bit more ventilation, but it kept pretty dark in there. Even once the sun came up and started shining into it a little bit, we got to sleep in past 4:30, which is basically when the sun came up. Let's check in with Steffi Poo and see how she slept last night. So how'd you sleep? Once you got to sleep?
Pretty good. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
It was a little hot and then comfortable. Like once it cooled down for me, but
I'm curious about how'd you sleep, Joe? Pretty good?
you want the fluff?
We're good. How is the sleep system? Because that's the part that I'm most curious about, the sleeping pad and the quilt and pillow. Those three things.
Sleeping pad and pillow, super good. The quilt was good. It could use like a lining of some sort.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like a little sticky.
That's probably because you're sweaty a little bit.
Yeah. But other than that, like it was really comfortable. And it was a little warm for the weather, but like the system was comfortable in general. So,
okay, sweet.
Yeah.
You had a good sleep?
Yeah.
You think we could bring this on more trips?
I could definitely go to sleep for another 4 hours right now, but yes, we could bring it on more trips.
Okay. That's glowing endorsement. And Joe slept pretty good too, eh? She stayed on her pad the entire night once she went to sleep and only would occasionally just kind of slide off of it. Especially in the morning, we had to adjust her back on it because her head was on the ground and then her butt was on the pad still. But I think that worked pretty good too. So I'm excited to try that on some backpacking trips with her because I think that would be a pretty good system. Because we're in bear country, we put away all of our food and kitchen stuff into the car overnight so that we weren't attracting any animals. I got everything back out and gonna get the jet boil going, make some coffee for Steph, and then get some pancakes going for all of us. And then we'll go over all the items that we really liked, what we think we might have sacrificed a little bit in order to get compactness, and then what we missed on this trip. So we're done breakfast. That was pretty delicious. I love pancakes. I'm very happy with the cook system and our entire kitchen. The fact that our entire kitchen fits into that one Gregory bin is pretty sick and definitely keeps things a lot more compact. Part of that is due to the jet boil system as well as the water and all the other stuff, the collapsible bowls and pots. But overall, really happy with that. I'm glad we brought our chairs. That's been super nice to have, especially sitting around camp last night. What else, Joe? What else do you like outside of like the tent sleep system? Do you like your chair? Yeah? What about you, Steph? What was some of your favorite stuff that we brought with us for around camp?
Probably the sunshade because it was very sunny and it was nice to have shade when our table wasn't shaded originally.
What
Everything
about-
was good though.
What about the fire pit? We left that at home. You were really sad about that. Did you miss it?
No, it was so hot. It's not necessary, and we had to just go to bed at 10 when she went to bed anyways.
Yeah.
So good thing to leave at home in the summer.
We already touched on the tent and the sleep system. I actually bought a 4-person of this exact tent because the 8-person is gigantic, and we're going to be flying to doing some car camping in September. So I wanted even more compactness, and the 4-person is about half the size. But even for the 8-person, it packed up pretty small, and I was pretty impressed with it. My sleep system, I had a great sleep. Steph could have tweaked it a little bit. I think she's used to a little bit more of a softer sheet system, and the Zenbivvy's okay, but not as soft as some of the car camping specific things. Personally, really happy with everything that I was sleeping on, especially the pillow. That Sea to Summit Premium XL pillow is so comfy. And Steph just said she agrees. She loved her pillow as well. As far as things that we might have sacrificed on this trip, not too much. I think everything that we brought with us worked as intended and worked as well as it could. I think if it was windier, we might have needed some sort of windscreen for the stove, but overall, pretty happy with everything. There are a couple things that we missed, specifically things around keeping the tent cool so that Jo could have gone to bed at 6:30 when she was tired and wanted to instead of 10 o'clock. So having some fans or even a tent air conditioner would have gone a long way and wouldn't have taken up that much extra space in the car. The air conditioner would have had to bring a battery bank and the air conditioner, so it would have taken up a little bit more, but some fans would have been a really easy fix. Go check out this video if you're interested in my ultra comfort backpacking kit. Some of the items are actually overlapping with our car camping kit, which is kind of crazy to see, but I go over everything that I bring with me and carry on my back for a night out in the backcountry where I want to be as comfortable as possible.